Good evening.
Slow motions in the darkness, shadows on the wall. Light shines on the heaven, light shines on the moon. Freedom in the heart and fire. Oh, she's standing by the doorway. The night is getting warm. The wind blows by the window as the music's getting low. It really doesn't mind. It's a love to find, love to find, girl, love to find. So toss you in my bag. Love ain't got no lies. Companion in my heart. It's a love sacrifice. Ain't got nowhere to go. But things you left around me, the lights I'll never see. The look there in the dark, the fault I'll never feel. Baby, don't you realize I can't remember. Love was a blunder. I can't remember when you were the thunder. I can't remember when you were all I knew. Love was so tender. So tender, love was so tender.
It's good to see your face and hear your voice again. Somebody told me you've been away without the life again. Yeah, the thing just getting tougher. No more threat to fall. Everybody, we're just starting crawling to this life. It's all we own. Now I hope you find the key to get your makeup on, ready to go out. You told me you've been away, but I don't mind. And so I hope you find a key to know the light of this world, from the sky to the ground. To know the light in this dark world, from the sky to the ground. To know the light in this world, from the sky to the ground. To know the light in this dark world, from the sky to the ground, babe.
Get up, get up, get up, get up, get up, get up. Oh.
mia vecchia cucina. Arduino Magia Lopez al basso.
Hello guys, hello, bambini, bambini,
Hello.
bambini.
What happened?
How are
What happened?
you?
We now start even 1 minute earlier.
Yes, yeah. You were not prepared, right?
No.
Sí. So, do you love me, guys?
So
much.
Thank you.
Today even a little bit more.
Thank you. More and more, right? This is the right question, the right answer.
Especially today, we love you a little bit more because you are a little bit sick, a little bit.
Yes.
sore throat.
Yes, I'm a little bit sick, but do you hear this voice? You know, it's more profound, more deep.
It's extremely sexy, Jeff.
Yes. Anyway, allora ragazzi, Sebbi, are you ready for the start?
No. Where is Nisa? Where is Nisa?
Nisa. Where is Nisa? Nisa is missing.
Yes, of course. Come on, we cannot start.
See. Emilio, what are you drinking? Orange juice?
Many things. Orange juice, water, and of course.
Bravo.
Very organized.
Bene, Nisa is here.
I'm a bit late, so sorry. I'm here now.
Yes.
Hello.
We couldn't start without you.
Ready for the start.
It's Dermoscopy time, everybody. Welcome to the happy hour. Guys, the way I enjoy this guitar is not very different from the way you enjoy your work. It's art, it's love. You never get tired. That's wonderful. That's why you are here on a Sunday evening connecting to this show, because you love what you do. And you know what? This device is made for you. We did it with love, with intelligence. What does it mean, intelligence? It means we detect via software all of these moles on the body. Look at this. They all have a coordination. So if something changes, if something is new, we find out. And that makes your job easier and more precise. Isn't it art? It is. So please keep enjoying the happy hour show. Hello everybody, this is Moha. Welcome to Photo Finder. Click on the link and find out.
Good. Bravo Sebbi, bravo. Sebbi is becoming a director who is really incredible.
He always has been, but now he's turning into a Scorsese.
Yes. He can play.
Bravo.
Yes, he can play things more and more efficient with sounds and so on.
By the way, once again, I like so much doing it in the chat. Hello from Uzbekistan, Romania, Poland, Somalia, Italy, Saudi, Algeria, UK, Romania, Istanbul, Venezuela, Turkey, Egypt, Austria, Canada, India. We missed India, I think, the previous times.
First time.
UK, Germany, Argentina, Tunisia, France, Serbia, Nigeria, Argentina, Sweden, Saudi, Mexico.
Yes, Romania, Peru.
Come on. Wonderful. That's fantastic.
Fantastic. Wonderful. Okay, guys, it's time to launch the question of the week. And the question of the week, paradoxically, will be still closely reminding to the previous episode.
To the previous?
Why, guys? Yeah, you know why, guys?
Why?
Yeah, because nails are,
Nails are nails.
very special, very special skin appendages. Yeah. And a lot of things are going on in the nails. Yeah. So it's Sebbi, would you like to give the question of the week? Because I mean, we have to ask the people if they see only nevi and hemorrhages and sometimes melanoma in the nail, but I presume they see also something else. Of course, many inflammatory conditions. Probably Emilio prepared a couple of examples, but also another type of skin malignancy. Sebbi, I mean, come on. I was just finishing saying that you are perfect. What's going on with you?
He texted that, but it doesn't work. He texted.
He's mentioning that the poll doesn't work.
Yeah.
at the
So,
moment.
how do people say it when they're live broadcasting? This is a live broadcast. Things happen in live
broadcasting.
broadcast.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway. So the question of the week was related to squamous cell carcinoma of the nail. Yeah, this is not the only tumor. Melanoma is not only the only tumor of the nail, but also squamous cell carcinoma can happen sometimes, and it's even more important, more frequent than melanoma, at least according to the literature. So let's go to the paper of the week.
Of the week.
We skip the question, you mean? Yeah. Okay.
Come on.
Yeah. Okay.
Too late for the question.
Too late for the question.
Yeah. Okay. Paper of the week. Let me share my screen.
While you're sharing your screen, may I comment that your background is really wonderful and much better than ours?
I know very well, my dear. I know very well, my dear. Look at this.
By the way, Jeppy, before you start presenting the paper of the week, just a reminder for participants, for your questions, please use the Q&A so that we can keep a better track, because in the chat we may miss some things. In the Q&A, it's easier to keep track of questions.
Yes. Okay, perfect. So, nail update number 2, non-pigmented tumors. We spoke about pigmented tumors last week. Today, we speak about non-pigmented tumors. And the paper of the week is this one. I know that Emilio, Costas, and Nisa expected to see another paper, which I will present later. But this I found very, very interesting, because it's a review article on important malignant and new nail tumors. And you see what's going on here. The first malignancy of the nail mentioned here is squamous cell carcinoma, then of course melanoma, and then third category is the so-called onychotumors. I like very much this, don't you think so, guys? Onychotumors.
Yes,
it's nice. Come on.
Yeah,
this is made of many benign proliferations of the matrix of the nail bed and so on. But
it's like the trichotumors, trichoblastoma,
Exactly. Yeah. So the point is this, and here it comes the paper I wanted to share at the very beginning, but it's coming now. In this paper, which was performed on a series of 44 squamous cell carcinomas of the nail, it's clearly visible that this squamous cell carcinoma of the nail, it's extremely difficult to diagnose, extremely difficult, because at the very beginning of its natural evolution, it's mimicking a lot of benign things, from onychomycosis to pyogenic granuloma, whatever, okay? So this is a big problem, because at the beginning, squamous cell carcinoma is not looking like a squamous cell carcinoma, okay? So, since this tumor is extremely difficult to diagnose, let's for a moment concentrate on the benign tumors which could be easily recognized, which are not squamous cell carcinomas, but they are benign tumors, okay? So once we see a stereotypical morphology of a benign tumor, we can exclude that this is a squamous cell carcinoma. And these are the 3 most common onychotumors. First one is usually showing up as a red thin line, erythronychia longitudinale, okay? Red thin line, but what is extremely typical is this fracture at the distal end of the nail plate. And this is called distal notch, a V-shaped distal notch, and this is the typical finding of onychopapilloma. Okay, so these are the very common morphologies. Sometimes onychopapilloma can be even pigmented, and in order to differentiate from a melanocytic proliferation or melanocytic activation, we can look at the free age because there is hyperkeratosis below the pigmentation, corresponding to the pigmentation, but especially dermoscopy could be useful to see another type of finding, which is typically seen in onychopapilloma, which is splinter hemorrhages. By the way, splinter hemorrhages are also seen in psoriasis of the nail. So it's not a unique, it's not a pathognomonic sign. But if we are dealing with a tumor, splinter hemorrhages are typically seen in onychopapilloma. Second type of benign tumor, which could be easily recognized by us, is onychomatricoma. Instead of a red longitudinal line, is a white, usually white longitudinal line, which is corresponding to a leukonychia. What is extremely nice in this tumor is the free age morphology, which is made of these honeycomb-like spaces containing keratin, of course. This is again kind of keratinizing tumor, completely benign, but it should be excised because usually it's growing until occupying the entire nail plate. So usually, as you can see here, is larger than onychopapilloma. Third type of tumor, which can be recognized by a main symptom, and this is pain. When you have a patient coming with a red longitudinal band and saying that it's painful, most probably we are dealing with glomus tumor. Okay, so, and again, we can make easily this diagnosis, especially if pain is reported by the patient. So in summary, regular and thin red-white lines plus distal hyperkeratosis plus painful reddish nail, these are all benign symptoms, and we can be on the safe side if we see them. Just 2 words about the morphology of squamous cell carcinoma. As I told you at the beginning, it could be extremely difficult to identify because it's mimicking many benign tumors or many benign conditions. So we have to remember a few strategical things. First, it's predominantly seen in males, okay? Second, the most frequent locations are these 2 fingers, while the most frequent location of nail melanoma is the first toe, okay? First 2 fingers is squamous cell, more frequently seen squamous cell carcinoma, and this is the prototype morphology. A nail destruction, okay? In addition, you can see dermoscopically white color. Red color means proliferation of the vessels, but especially white color, because as usually this is a keratinizing tumor and it's showing white color, okay? But of course, there are cases in which there is no nail destruction, especially at the beginning of the natural history of this tumor. So we can see only hyperkeratosis, onycholysis, oozing, and so on. So in these cases, the rule, you can look at this. This is really looking like a wart or like a banal onycholytic process, inflammatory process. But these are 2 examples of squamous cell carcinoma. So as a matter of fact, in my view, we have to remember that we have to biopsy lesions which are solitary, 1 digit, especially in elderly adult patients, male patients, when the usual treatment for a wart, for a onychomycosis or for onycholysis is not effective. So we have to think about squamous cell carcinoma in those cases. And with this, I finished, my friends.
Wonderful, wonderful. Let me ask you something just to be better clarified and to avoid any kind of misinterpretation. You said about onychomatricoma, that is a benign tumor that, however, although it's benign, it has to be excised because usually it has the tendency to grow and practically expand to involve the whole matrix and then the whole nail plate. But this does not mean in any way that there is a chance of malignant transformation, correct?
No, of course not. But this is something we learned, you remember, from Michela Starace. She is very experienced in nail pathology, And she said usually the cases she saw in the past are usually growing until occupying the entire nail plate. But this is a benign proliferation, no question.
Which, by the way, I don't know your experience, guys, but in the cases of onychomatricoma that I have seen, this was not the scenario, at least not in all of them. I mean,
yes, also in my experience, but you know, my experience is made of 3, 4, 5 cases, not more.
Yeah.
Like mine as well. I have maybe 5 cases, maybe.
Yeah.
And your experience is that they grew or not?
No, they remain stable.
Yeah. Here is the question of the week, by the way, which let's do it because it's interesting.
Yes. How many nail squamous cell carcinoma did you see in your professional life? Yeah. Of course, we are speaking about a rare location of this tumor, but still, it's interesting to understand.
Also, I was thinking when you mentioned that, no, so the majority is 0 to 5. 0 to 5.
Makes sense.
I was thinking when you commented that squamous cell carcinoma of the nails develops usually in males, I was thinking if there is any malignant tumor that does not develop more frequently, except of breast cancer.
You're right, except breast cancer and of course ovarian cancer and
ovarian cancer. Yeah.
By the way, like with your presentation, Debbie, I realized that I didn't know how many of nail SCCs are connected to HPV infection, and I just Googled it.
That's
correct.
I just Googled it.
Yes, most probably the majority of them are connected to HPV.
Yeah.
So 20%, only 20%.
Only 20.
Only 20. I just Googled it. I didn't know.
Okay.
So I was impressed.
I thought more.
I thought more as well.
Well, of course, I mean, we need to understand what kind of data exists on this. Let me, similar, even more interesting question would be how many squamous cell carcinomas of the genital area are associated to HPV, which in my view should be close to 100%, but according to the literature, it's not that much. But still, I mean, we have to understand how this literature, what kind of data the literature consists of. How do we differentiate subungual bowens from common warts? Can we say something, Jeppe?
Well, again, a carcinoma inside of the nail, it's extremely difficult to differentiate from all the rest. So, something I didn't mention, but it's important to mention now. The great majority of squamous cell carcinomas of the nail, they start under the nail bed or at the side, in the perionychium. A small proportion is starting at the nail matrix. Okay, but still, it could be possible. So when we see a red line, we think about an onychopapilloma, it's extremely important to make a follow-up in order to understand if the lesion is stable.
Mm-hmm. Publications came out recently saying that SCC of the nail is not related to nail UVB lights. We discussed about it last week. But I have seen a correlation. Eve says that I have seen a correlation in a few patients, females. Please say something on this. Kostas, you want to repeat something?
Yeah, by all means. So this is a nice question by Eve Levenstein. We discussed this last week. There was a paper that came out in Nature like 2 weeks ago, which actually showed that UV lamp causes both immediate and long-term damage to the cells, and it causes mutations that could be carcinogenic. So I think that the data agrees with your opinion, that it is dangerous for development of keratinocyte cancer.
You know what I learned last week from a couple of young residents? They told me that after what you said about this thing with the nails, this is a big problem, I mean, for us. I said, come on, why? Because, I mean, these UV are necessary for what they do with their nail.
Clear.
Yeah.
So there are not many alternatives to have the same cosmetic result. I didn't know.
Yeah, because it's a stabilizing factor. Actually, after the episode, I heard many complaints because I brought this up.
Which is the management of Asian patients with multiple nail with brown linear streaks. commented last week, usually the involvement of many digits is a positive sign, of course, and in dark skin type individuals, frequently there is some kind of pigmentation in multiple nails. So in general, it's a good sign, but this does not mean that it's not possible that in one of these nails that are anyhow pigmented because of the ethnicity, a melanoma might develop. So it's a good sign, but it does not exclude the possibility of a melanoma developing in one of these nails. So the management is just, monitoring, nothing more than that, unless something suspicious develops.
Yeah.
Eve says that they can put gloves with Q-tip tips and sunblock before lights for some blockage.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
It's reasonable.
Wonderful. So let's
Emilio, go ahead with your cases.
And then we will come back to the discussion. Pararam. But here we should also have music, I guess.
Yes.
Yeah. Anyhow. That doesn't matter. So before my cases, I have to tell you something. Today, this beautiful girl, which is my dog, has her birthday. So I'm very happy.
Oh, che bello.
2 years old today.
2 years old.
So
Yes.
cute.
She's still a young dog,
Yes. But she's very cute, as you can see.
She's amazing.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
What's her name?
Fida.
Vida.
So the first case was already shown by Jeppy. Of course, I would say that's an easy case because in this one there is a sign which is very strong for malignancy, and this is the destruction of the nail plate itself. I mean, this is a very strong sign. It's very rare that a benign tumor will destroy the nail plate. So that's very helpful. Of course, in addition to this, we have the leukonychia and the atypical vascular pattern. So I would say that this is an easy to diagnose squamous cell carcinoma. That's why I will skip it. But what about the next one? What do you think, guys? What do you see here? First of all, we see blood.
Blood.
Yes.
Blood.
But can we say that this is just an hemorrhage?
Well, it's a
No, there are some white lines.
yes. I'm
Yeah.
very funny looking hemorrhage.
Very funny looking hemorrhage. And there are also this obvious subungual hyperkeratosis. There are the white lines on the nail. So, I mean, this is, I just wanted with this case to remind that an hemorrhage, of course, it's easy to recognize, but it does not exclude the coexistence of something else, and especially a malignant tumor that might cause hemorrhage. And this, in this case, this is an example of a squamous cell carcinoma of the nail matrix, practically, that was complicated with hemorrhage. So difficult case, of course, case, because first of all,
probably is the nail bed, because the pathology. No, the distal matrix. You're right.
Distal matrix. Yeah.
Are these vessels at like 6 o'clock?
Yes.
Right? Oh, so there's the neovascularization.
Yeah, they are similar to the vessels of the previous case. Look at the previous case.
Yes.
They are rather glomerular type more.
Yeah.
I would say similar vessels also in this one. So yes, there are clues. The risk here would be to be blind because of the hemorrhage and say, okay, it's just hemorrhage, go home, don't worry. That would be the risk, and this is why I showed this case. Wonderful. Next one. This is also a case I like very much. A very peculiar thing, unique. Once we learn it, it's easy to diagnose, in my view. Here we can see that something is going on the matrix. Also, there is a small roundish destruction of the nail plate. And there is also a linear band, which is without color practically, but there is something here. So probably there is something going on the matrix, which caused this destruction of the nail plate. This is a quite typical sign for a specific diagnosis. And an additional useful information here would be that there is a symptom, which is pain. Pain, of course, is associated with glomus tumor, but not only. There is another subungual tumor, which is very frequently painful and which causes characteristically this destruction of the nail plate. I'm speaking, of course, here we have an additional help from the X-ray
Fungal exocytosis.
that shows this, this distal onycholysis, which is typical of keratoacanthoma, subungual keratoacanthoma, which is not so frequent, but it does have this peculiar morphology with this roundish, let's say, destruction of the nail plate.
I don't think I've ever seen one.
Huh?
Yeah, I agree. I have never seen one.
Yeah, I've seen just a couple of. Yeah, it's not frequent. It's not frequent, but I mean, the last one we saw, it was easy to diagnose because it's a very, very peculiar, very characteristic dermatoscopic pattern. Wonderful. Next one. That's the clinical. There is something black, but it does not. The black part does not originate from the matrix. There is also something that looks like a leukonychia. This is what you get with dermoscopy.
Pseudomonas.
Pseudomonas.
Pseudomonas, you said?
Yeah.
Pseudomonas, very good idea because of the green color. By the way, something that helps a little bit is the free edge dermoscopy, because you can see here that this brownish to green pigmentation does involve also the nail plate, it's not only subungual. And of course, Pseudomonas is a very reasonable idea. Any alternatives? Also, fungus could cause
fungus, yeah.
Could cause sometimes this kind of pigmentation, although as a rule it does not. But in this case, it was surprisingly a fungal infection. So rubrum. Rubrum.
Trichophyton rubrum. Okay,
Yeah.
Great case.
Which is the most frequent, of course, trichophyton involved in onychomycosis. Usually, it does not produce any kind of pigment, but sometimes pigment might also develop. Next one, I also like it very much. Can you guess what it is already from the clinical? Triangular.
Maybe lichen.
Lichen.
Lichen, yeah.
Lichen. This is, let's
Lichen.
say, not the most typical version of an initial pterygium, but there is already this triangular shape, this vascularization on the distal matrix. The next case is the most typical example. Look at it. Yeah.
Yes.
Also, already clinically, you can see, and dermatoscopically even better, the characteristic alteration on the nails of lichen planus. By the way, this case was a very impressive, rare case of a congenital onychodystrophy in a child. Look at multiple nails involved, and just for your information, this is a very rare syndrome called Iso-Kikuchi.
No, come on.
Iso-Kikuchi. You see, again, Iso and Kikuchi were able to invent a syndrome. We were not able to invent not even a single sign, and I will die with this complaint.
So I sat my board exams 1 month ago, and I didn't read about it.
Yeah, of course. I think there are like 3, 4, 5 cases in the literature. Very rare. Next one, one of my last cases is just, I show it because it's a wonderful, in my view, typical example of a very frequent disease that involves the nails. And these are the most typical signs of this disease that, of course, I guess you know. I'm speaking about psoriasis. I'm speaking about, look at the nail pitting on the left-hand side, how wonderful it is. And, of course, the so-called oil drop. You remember this from our old books, the oil drop of psoriasis, very characteristic.
Beautiful.
Next one is a pigmented band. which was the topic of last week. You see clinically and dermatoscopically. So here one might think about a nevus or an early melanoma and so on and so on. But I just wanted to underline how much free edge dermoscopy, which was the step number 4 in the method I showed you last week, how much it helps to diagnose these non-melanocytic tumors, because look how easy it becomes when you apply
Onychopapilloma.
onychopapilloma, and there is no doubt. I mean, it's so clear that there is here a thinning of the nail plate and a subungual keratin mass, which are typical for onychopapilloma. And okay, that's another typical example of an onychomatricoma. One of these cases, I told you that, I mean, we have several sequential photos of this guy and it never grew. So, I mean, we did not excise it, to be honest. So I think it's an onychomatricoma. I think, I'm not sure. Yeah, I think it's an onychomatricoma, but it should be. Wonderful. And the last one is just a classic case of glomus tumor, which usually develops at the lunula of the nail. Of course, it's red in color. It might cause an erythronychia, a linear erythronychia or not. And usually it's easy to diagnose. Not always. It's not always easy to diagnose. In this case, it's quite typical. Wonderful.
Wonderful.
So I see many signs in the Q&A. So let's see what we have. Dr. Emilio, what's the bubbles in the nail? Sorry, I didn't understand what bubbles.
Keratoacanthoma case.
In the keratoacanthoma, the bubbles probably were because of the gel used to make the photograph. SCC of the great toe is less common.
Yes.
Yes. In this case, do we wait or do a biopsy immediately? So I don't know which case, but anyhow.
This came on the case that you were showing, the one with the hematoma. There was an SCC.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this depends on the grade of suspicion, but in general, I think that we are in the category of in a field in which I would say that there is no pressure of time. I mean, nothing bad happens if you monitor for a while in order to understand what's going to happen with that hemorrhage and to be sure that there is something more than the hemorrhage and you have to act in a different way. I don't think that there is any stress to do it today. The important thing is to be aware that you should be careful, you should monitor, you should not send the patient home. That would be my answer. Mycoid cyst, I didn't see the signs of SCC in the second case.
The one we're discussing right now.
The one we're discussing, of course, because there was a big part covered by blood, so there were parts of the lesion were missing, but there were still some vessels that we commented and showed, and also the leukonychia, which means that there is something going on the matrix. So these are signs that make you think of the probability of SCC. Management of subungual keratoacanthoma. Surgical excision, because it's a painful tumor, and it has to be it destroys the nail, so it has to be somehow solved. Spontaneous involution, I think, is never reported in nail keratoacanthoma, so I wouldn't expect a spontaneous involution. How do you treat Pseudomonas with anti-pseudomonatic antibiotics?
And especially we have to teach the patient to try to use a kind of toothbrush to try to put the cream or the liquid inside.
And also keratolytics, of course, in case the nail is thickened, because otherwise.
I think the cornerstone of all topical regimens in nail infections is to melt the nail. Otherwise, most treatments will not work.
Yeah.
Melt the nail and then you can apply whatever you want.
Recently, I see subungual seborrheic keratosis. Yes, I've also seen in the literature and in the social media a couple of times cases of seborrheic keratosis that might happen. Never saw it myself, but that might happen. And I think that we have everything. Yeah. We have many wishes for Kida in the chat. Thank you so much, my dear friends. Blah, blah, blah. I think we got everything. Everything.
Yes.
Sometimes bleeding will persist because the microtraumas persist. See, for example, athletes. Yes. Yes, correct. Yeah, correct. Correct.
Yes, we use only topical antibiotics for Pseudomonas of the nail, usually. Only topical is...
It has to be an exception, like persistent for over 3 months.
Yes, yes. Wonderful, wonderful. What kind of antibiotic to brush for Pseudomonas? Let me tell you, I use la varechina. You know what is varechina?
No, what?
No.
I don't remember I use the most diffuse common antiseptic liquid.
Sodium carbonate.
Yes.
Bleacher.
Yes.
Yeah, I also.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
With some dilution.
Yeah, clear. But it's very, very easy.
It's very effective.
Yeah, very effective.
You don't use amikacin?
Let's say usually with this antiseptic.
It goes well. Perfect.
Enough.
I usually do a combination of antiseptic plus amikacin.
Yeah. Okay, guys, let me tell you. Are you just before giving the word to Kostas, I wanted to share with you a couple of thoughts about UV protection.
Not of the nails.
Not of the nails, clearly, not of the nails, but as I told you a couple of weeks ago, it looks like blue light is becoming more and more important in the field of sun protection. So we don't have to protect only against UVB and UVA, but also against blue light, because it looks like blue light as a kind of prominent oxidative role in the skin, and this kind of sunscreens developed to protect against blue light. Specifically, this one is called Triasorb, which is a very efficient molecule, giving a 98% photostability and with no side effects at all, because this molecule was tested against many possibilities, local reactions like acute toxicity, skin sensitization, and so on. So this is, let's say, the one of the most modern type of molecules which is used for sun protection. Bene.
Wonderful. Thank you, JP, so much. And now, Sebastiano, it's time for cases from Dermoscopy Facebook group.
Yes.
Okay.
Lisa on the podium.
Let's start.
Let's start.
Yeah.
The Dermoscopy Facebook group with only 25,000 members or something like this.
Only 25,000.
Only 25,000.
Okay.
It's not, yeah. It's a small.
28,000.
28,000. It's a small.
We have
Sorry,
28,000 members, and they are very active.
Yeah, small group.
And yeah, it's a very small group. And I shared this case 5 years ago. And let's see. The patient is a 83-year-old male, and the lesion presents for the last 1 year. There's a nail destruction because he went to a general surgeon and he removed the nail plate and do some curettage here.
Wonderful.
He was thinking about pyogenic granuloma.
Without biopsy.
Is it a pyogenic granuloma? Do you agree?
No, no.
And here is the dermatoscopy. We have pink and white structureless areas, and we have here polymorphic vessels, linear, serpentine, and some are thick diametered vessels. And when I asked this question to the group, here were the answers of the members. Melanoma, SCC, Kaposi, and pyogenic granuloma. Which one do you think it is? Melanoma or SCC or Kaposi? Of course, it's not a pyogenic granuloma because we see vessels.
Yes.
In pyogenic granuloma, we don't expect to see vessels on the surface.
Yeah.
A or B. It could be any of those.
Yes, could be any of.
So you should vote for one.
SCC. SCC.
Okay, then I vote for melanoma just to be different.
I would vote for melanoma either way, but because it's the episode and I know Nisa, it's an SCC that it's impossible to diagnose.
Okay, so let's see the
It is a
answer.
melanoma.
Oh.
This is a very thick melanoma. Breast of thickness was 3.9 and number of mitosis was 42. And what's interesting is the patient is still living. He's alive after 5 years and there is no metastasis.
This is very good news. This is very
good
news
for the
because-
patient.
That's a very good news because otherwise this is one of these many sad stories.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's very good that
And here are some examples of pyogenic granulomas of young age patients. This is a football player, soccer, young boy. And you see there's a pink structureless area, but there's no vessels over the surface. And it's a very acute reaction. And here is the close-up. And another case with pink structureless area. Again, we don't see any vessels and any very acute reaction. And now the second case.
But I guess that this case
female.
is, the previous one, the pyogenic granuloma, would be pretty challenging before you remove the nail plate. Pretty challenging to.
Of course, yeah. That's why we removed that. But the patient was very young, Emilio. He was 18, and the other one was 21-year-old, and the one was doing karate, and the other one was a soccer. So trauma-induced, and we think that this should be a pyogenic granuloma due to the age and due to the trauma history. Anyway, we made a little biopsy from the edge, and it was pyogenic granuloma. I just want to show the difference of amelantic melanoma and pyogenic granuloma. There's no vessels, just pink and white structures.
Yeah.
And the second case, I asked this case 2 years ago. 23-year-old female, history 2 years, and single nail involvement, only one nail. What do you think it is with this dermatoscopy?
Yeah.
We have a longitudinal electronic.
23,
Yeah.
I'm very prone to think about a benign lesion.
Looks like
Yeah.
to me, but did it have any other lesions?
No free edge?
No free edge because there was nothing there. And here are the answers of the members. Onychopapilloma, lichen planus got the majority votes.
Yes.
Gliomas tumor, myxoid cyst, and SCC. And it was lichen planus. I didn't take a biopsy because why I didn't take a biopsy. And here you see a lesion on the tattooage and tattoo, and on the watch scrap here, there's a trauma here, and you see lichen stria. Yeah, and that lesion developed after manicure. So we think that this was pterygium here.
Yes.
And you can see maybe these are lichen stria here.
Actually, it's very interesting because we just got a question saying exactly that. If there is like an association between traumatization from manicure and development of lesions. And I think this is a very good example.
Yeah. And you see tattoo and lichen planus and watch scrap here and another trauma site. And this is also an interesting case, 70 years old male, and he has chronic lymphocytic leukemia history. And this nail change developed 2 years ago. And here is the clinic. Here is the dermatoscopy. And this is the pre-edge site. So what do you think it is? The members vote for SCC, glomus, onychopapilloma, and melanoma here.
Glomus.
Go back again for a moment.
Yeah.
Just
look at,
here.
There's blood here, and you see the fiber sign here, there's leakage.
Yeah.
It's bleeding.
Of course.
I would not exclude squamous cell carcinoma also here. Squamous cell carcinoma.
Yeah. And this was squamous cell carcinoma. Yeah. Here is this blood leakage made me consider SCC first, and histopathology was moderately differentiated SCC, and the thickness was 1.2 millimeter in this tumor. Yes. So this presents just only with erythronekia and bleeding. And this is the last case. It's very interesting, and I really wonder your opinions. This is a 27-year-old female, history 7 years. This is a baseline photo, and this is 9 months later. She has lymphangioma circumscriptum on the same axilla. Here you see lymphangioma. So we made fungal cultures 3 times. There is no fungus here. Psoriasis, only single nail and 7-year history.
Yeah. It does exist a kind of pustular psoriasis, which is, acrodermatite continua of Allopo is a kind of...
And the members vote for these diagnoses here, and none of them. Here is the MR imaging.
Wait a moment.
And you see here, this is a clue. This was a very interesting case because it was a glomus tumor. The patient has pain on palpation. So in these types of lesions, always physical examination is very important. The major sign of this patient was pain, and the pain was increasing with cold. So it wasn't expected dermatoscopic features for glomus tumor, and we need to take several times fungal cultures, and they were all negative here. But MR imaging technique showed the glomus tumor to us, and we made a biopsy, and biopsy confirmed the diagnosis here. And this was my last case.
Nice, because it also underlines that in several occasions, imaging will help in nail tumors. I showed the case of keratoacanthoma, in which imaging helps a lot, and also here imaging helps.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Nice cases.
Wonderful, fantastic. Let me see if we have any questions. What are the white structureless areas in the first case of NISA? I guess this was the case of melanoma.
Yeah.
So what are the white structureless areas?
Fibrosis. In melanoma, fibrosis is also expected.
Collagen alterations.
Collagen, yeah.
We hypothesize.
Beautiful. So, Costantino.
At your service, sir.
Sebastiano, no Costantino. Sebastiano.
So now we have... No, Kahoot.
No, Sebastiano.
No Kahoot. We have the Dermoscopy cases.
What is Dermoscopy?
It's
a game.
Yeah.
Well, is it only a game though?
Yeah. It's your friend. It's your
companion.
It's your companion.
It's exactly. Passion.
Yeah.
Okay, let me share screen. So,
By the way, level 22 will come out this week. So next Sunday, it will be
Beautiful.
out.
okay, so next Sunday, as a teaser trailer for the new level, we're going to do a couple of cases from the new level to play in between us.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
So, dermoscopy. Is it an app? Is the bird? Is the plane? Is the game? Is the quiz? Is the teaching material? It's all those. It's Superman.
Ra.
Where you can train, of course, you can play live, upload your own cases, and get live feedback from colleagues from all across the world. So 3 cases for this week. This is a case of a 38-year-old male, and this is the dermoscopy.
This is a real leukonychia.
This is a real leukonychia. Exactly. Sebi, the questions?
Melanoma nevus, basal cell, squamous cell, solar lentigo, vascular lesion, dermatofibroma, all other. I would say other.
Other.
Other is fixed, is perfect for this case.
Okay, 91%. I think that we all agree.
1%. Yeah. Okay.
And the people at 92% also voted for that. What's the diagnosis, Jeppy?
Well, no idea.
Well, why not this superficial? What's the name?
Superficial
White
onychomycosis.
superficial onychomycosis. Yeah.
Yes, but
white
it doesn't look like superficial, or is it? It looks like it coming from the bottom.
I think it's an onychomycosis of whatever. Do a tissue culture.
So you agree both on onychomycosis. Okay, why not? But you know that in these cases it's very easy. Usually for onychomycosis you have to get the keratin from the bottom between the nail plate and the nail bed, while in this case you can scrape from the surface.
Yeah.
Proximal white onychomycosis, maybe HIV infection.
Yeah, it was also a comment, HIV in the chat.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Second case, this is the clinical. So, sorry, let me go back. History of multiple melanomas on this patient. Clinical. And here's the dermoscopy.
Yeah.
What's the diagnosis?
It looks much more worrisome clinically than dermoscopically.
Yeah, this is exactly why I put it, Debbie. So I think that dermoscopy here can be life-saving.
Yeah.
Or at least biopsy-saving.
Not life-saving, yeah.
Biopsy-saving.
Time-saving, maybe, or scar-saving.
Let's have a look.
What do people think?
Yeah.
57%. And most of the people voted for nevus here. And also, I think this is a very good example of kissing nevi, an intradermal nevus, the red part, along with the junctional nevus on the right.
Sure. Very good.
And the last case on the lower limb, 53-year-old female, clinical and dermoscopy.
I go with dermatofibroma.
Dermatofibroma, yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Let's see what the people will say.
Yeah, 92%.
92%.
Wow. Amazing.
Yeah.
Similar to this. And also, I put this case in just to show that this is the opinion of an expert. So experts also respond during the live Q&A on dermoscopy, and you can see whether you agree with an expert like Jeppy, Emilio, Sniza.
No. These are the experts, meaning this is the vote of the users of the app with the highest scores. So they are
the highest scores.
They are better than us. They are not like they are better.
We pretend the best, but we are not actually. And these are the actual best voters in dermoscopy. Yeah.
Wonderful.
It's the first 100 people which are scoring the highest rank in the app.
Amazing.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Fantastic.
Emilio, are you ready for the cases?
I'm present. No, wait a moment. Not yet cases. I also have to say something.
You also have to say something.
I also have to say something, my friend. I also have to tell you something. I also have to show you the new toy, this very fancy tool that I like very much since I use it since some time. I also have the experience and I like it a lot. There are many things that this device can do, and we mentioned a couple of weeks ago. Today, I just wanted to remind that this is adaptable, so you can adapt it to an iPhone or any other smartphone, which means that you don't need an extra device to capture images, because you can capture your images by adapting this dermatoscope to any device, any smartphone. And I think, Konstantinos, you have to show something related to this.
I actually do. And guys, have I told you that that's the way I take all my pictures, like with an adapter on my phone. And this is what I'm going to show right now. Okay. What's your diagnosis? Male, 76 years old, present for 2 years and growing. This, we're talking about this lesion, of course. Sebi, is this melanocytic benign, non-melanocytic benign, melanocytic malignant, non-melanocytic malignant?
Without dermoscopy, you want us to vote?
Without dermoscopy.
Come on, without dermoscopy, it's suspicious.
Melanocytic malignant. Yeah, I agree.
Wonderful. Let's move on to polarized.
Sepke.
Now, what's your diagnosis?
Yeah.
Sepke.
Yeah.
Now we are more optimistic, but then we want to see also the other mode that will make it easier.
Let's see. Okay, 70% non-melanocytic benign. But I think that the cool thing about the DL5 is that you can play with polarization. So you can go from polarized to non-polarized and cross-polarized. Excuse the comments, I'm talking to my fellows.
Look at this.
Oh,
Beautiful.
fantastic.
Beautiful.
Fantastic.
So beautiful.
Wonderful, wonderful.
So a real nice display of how you can.
We always have to remember that polarized light dermoscopy is very helpful to be faster and so on. But for some seborrheic keratosis, still non-polarized light dermoscopy is essential. So
you know what? I believe that there are also some other occasions for which non-polarized light is a little bit better. And in fact, we have to do this test in dermoscopy that we were planning to play a little bit with non-polarized and polarized images in order to understand. So I have the impression, for example, that also the majority of pigmented BCCs are easier to diagnose with non-polarized light. And also I can think of some other scenarios. Wonderful, excellent, fantastic.
Bene. So what's going on here? Dermoscopy, happy hour, Kahoot.
Not yet. Can I
yet.
ever forget Penelope? No.
No.
Never, ever. And not only.
Let's have a look.
Let's have a look to the usual gift from our dear friend. There we go. So Penelope's gift for this week is, of course, related to the topic of the previous one, but now,
yeah, more or less. Do
you want to try?
No, I don't.
Okay, it's not easy. Just tell me which ones you think that they are suspicious for malignancy. So, 1, suspicious or not?
Yes.
Yes.
2,
Yes.
Yes.
3.
Yes.
Okay, I
No.
stopped because you are
3
wrong in
no.
all of them.
3 no.
4,
No.
Oh.
5,
No.
No.
6,
No.
No.
7,
No.
No.
8,
No.
9,
Yes.
Yes.
10.
Yeah. I
Yes.
have
10 no.
other nails.
Jeffy stopped responding. 11,
This is called exercise of futility. You know?
11 no.
and 12. No, come on.
No.
12. No. Okay.
Not sure.
Okay, good. So the first one, ethnic type melanonia striata. The second, nevus. The third, onychomycosis. The fourth, trauma. Fifth, frictional melanonia. Sixth, quite interesting,
Ah,
an
This is the
onychomatricoma-like
Wow.
melanoma. Do you agree that this is an onychomatricoma-like melanoma? Pigmented
Great.
onychomatricoma-like melanoma.
Unbelievable.
Yeah,
Very
of course, it's obvious that if there was the full aspect, it would be easier because I guess there is pigmentation in the surrounding areas. But this one, from this image, it's quite scary. Then onychotillomania, seborrheic keratosis. There we are. Look at them. What are they? Milia-like cysts or just bubbles?
Who knows?
I have no idea.
Splinter hemorrhages, by the way. Yeah.
Splinter hemorrhages, yes. Ethnic type melanonia striata, another melanonia striata under TNF agent. Bowens is number 11, and 12 nail matrix nevus. And then today, Penelope decided to do a special gift to Konstantinos. You
Thank
see
you
how
so much,
sweet,
my dear
see how
Penelope.
sweet she is? Yeah. This nice case of trichostasis spinulosa
Wow.
in a dermal nevus.
Incredible. Thank you so much, Pascal.
You see, and a special gift for Jeppy.
Oh.
Aha.
Comes
This
with a
vascular
question.
flora bunches in rose petals.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Can you guess which is the location?
Tongue.
Causal,
Genital.
Tongue.
I would say.
Yes,
Tongue or
tongue,
genital?
tip of the tongue.
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 Yeah.
Wonderful. Thank you so
Beautiful.
much, Penelope, once again. And please send us your cases. Today we will not show any cases, but next week we will. So please send us your interesting cases in the email address that you can see.
Actually, we're going to do an episode dedicated to cases from the audience, and we're going to live quiz everyone and ourselves as well. So please send us your cases, your more interesting cases, and we're going to do it turn it in a game.
Exactly. So thanks for saying so, Konstantinos. We thought about it last week that instead of showing in a hurry 1 or 2 or 3 cases each time, since they are very nice, many of them, maybe it's better to dedicate an episode to show many of them. So please send us your cases, and we will organize it in this way. So, and good night. Bye-bye.
No way, Emilio. No way.
No. Sebastiano, show us for the 3rd time, but this is the correct.
Exacto. But you have to tell us why no sound. No sound for any of the jingles. Anyway.
No.
Anyway, we will explain.
Who knows?
Okay.
Let's see what's going to happen tonight in this in tonight's Kahoot. First of all, let's see if things are going to work.
Okay.
Get ready to join. Here is the pin. I guess that you hear no sound, correct?
But I see only a list of Kahoots. I don't see any pin.
Emilio,
Really?
share your entire screen.
Yeah.
Yeah, you see now?
Yeah, here we are. Yes.
Okay, so you can either scan the QR code or open a browser, go to www.kahoot.it, enter the nickname as usually. Don't worry if you receive a message that the connection is not working. It will work as soon as we will start the Kahoot. As usually happens in the last weeks, it always works, so why not today?
I love the fact that we're optimistic. It will work.
It will work. Come on, it will work. It will work. It will work. So that's why we will start very soon. But do you also hear the sound of Kahoot or not?
Yes, we do.
Ah, you do? Fine. That's nice. Okay. Wonderful. So let me start the game, because probably no more people can connect at this moment, but everybody will connect. Okay, start.
I love the bong.
Connection lost, but only for a second. So we are here and we go. Yes, 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 yes.
Okay.
So, do you like these 3 lesions? Well, there are not only 3, there are also some others in the surrounding skin, but let's focus on the ones in the center. Clinically, dermatoscopically,
Wow,
dermatoscopically.
I like them.
You like them, I know that you like them very much. And now comes the question, which is a very simple question. Very simple. How many melanomas do you see in this image? 0, 1, 2, 3. 0, 1,
Very optimistic,
2,
you say 0. If you are very pessimistic, you write down 3.
I'm optimistic. I see 1.
Yeah. Which one?
3 melanomas. 3 melanomas. And by the way, in my view, the most challenging is the third one.
Yeah, the third one, I would never say that.
Yeah, the third one is the most challenging. Of course, also here there is some focal hyperpigmentation in the center, which is not really homogeneous. I would say the first and the second are feasible.
Yeah.
But the third one is, it's a little bit tricky. Wonderful. So we have 22 correct answers, which is very good. And we have Laura M at the first place. Let's go to number 2, which is wonderful. So clinical, dermoscopy. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Look at it carefully.
I love it.
Because the question is, this is a collision tumor. Melanoma plus what? Basal cell carcinoma, dermatofibroma, angioma, or pilomatricoma?
Come on.
Okay.
Do you see my mouse?
Yes, we do see your
Yes.
mouse. We see where you're pointing.
Unbelievable, guys.
Yeah.
Let me tell you that when we excised the lesion, of course, we excised it as suspicious for melanoma, nothing else. And then the report comes back describing the melanoma, saying that there was a basal cell carcinoma also in the center of the lesion. And then we were trying to understand where is this basal cell carcinoma, and we very probably this is the area of the basal cell carcinoma. But the good news is that this cannot be a mistaken diagnosis, because BCC is clear-cut histopathologically, so there is no question. Wonderful. So what happens here? ST is in the first place. Very good. Which brings us to the first question with no points for today. This is the question number 3, saying which is the country of origin of Carmener wine? Is it Greece, Chile, Argentina or South Africa?
Come on, this is a very difficult question. What is
No.
Carmener?
No.
Carmener.
No,
is
come
a
on. But
Wonderful.
I mean,
Listen at the way he pronounces it. Carmener.
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 Look at it. But
Never
the people
heard
know
about
it. The people
But-
know it, Jeppy. You don't know it. The people know it.
people know it. People know it. Yeah.
Unfortunately, no points for this, although we should have. We should have double points for this. In fact.
Double points. Double points. Yeah.
And this brings us to case number 3, with points, of course, a wonderful image of a
Of
targetoid hemosiderotic nevus, targetoid hemosiderotic hemangioma, targetoid hemosiderotic dermatofibroma, or Maiocchi purpura.
Are you jealous about Maiocchi, Emilio? Yes. Yeah.
A lot.
He is the inventor of one of the 5 names of one disease, right?
Maiocchi, no, many things he described. So not only the Maiocchi purpura, there is also the Maiocchi, the fungal.
Yes.
Maiocchi granuloma.
Maiocchi granuloma, which is a fungal infection. Okay, so this was an easy one, obviously, which brings. How can I spell? How can I pronounce the person who is in our first place?
Brackets.
2 columns, something like that.
Rickets.
Wonderful. Number 4. This is number 4, clinical. Number 4, dermatoscopically. Look at it. Okay. And we go to the question, which is, this lesion was excised. Histopathologic report was seborrheic keratosis, squamous cell carcinoma, Spitz nevus, or poroma.
Everything can be a poroma, right?
Where is it located?
Doesn't matter. No, it's not on the aircraft.
Okay. It does matter.
Doesn't matter, yeah.
You see again our experts. These are the experts.
Indeed.
73 experts that were able to recognize this seborrheic keratosis. Wonderful, fantastic.
No question.
Among them, ST returns in the first place because she was already there before, or she, we don't know. And this brings us to the second question with no points of the day, philosophy. Who said this?
Jeppy.
Exactly.
He who knows all the answers have not been asked all the
Has
questions.
not been asked all the questions.
Not been asked all the
Confucius, Plato, Jesus Christ, or Jeppy?
Looks like
Yes.
Confucius.
Confucius, exactly. Nice quote, eh?
Yeah, very nice.
Who knows all the answers simply does not know all the questions.
There's one excellent one from Niels Bohr that I usually use on my talks.
No, don't tell it. Send it to me. We will include it next week.
Okay.
Very nice. And in the end, we have to make a list of the quotes that we did during the episodes.
Yeah.
Obviously. By the way, we have to include one said by Jeppy once, but I cannot decide which one.
Well, I mean, all of those could have
Among
been
the many.
Look at the question, the last question. Which is the threshold for T1A to T1B classification of melanoma? Which is the threshold? You have to give a number.
Yeah. You have to give a number. Yeah, nice. Yeah.
TAF1A, TAF1B. And
The answer
let's
is
see what happened. So the answer is 0.8, of course, and we had, what did we have? 29 correct answers in this question. Wonderful, very, very nice. So now, podium. Number 3, ST, bravo ST.
Bravo.
Albe, number 2.
Albe.
And the winner of the day is
Brackets.
Brackets.
2 brackets. Left-sided
2 brackets.
Penelope is in the 4th place.
I think we can. Where can you see this?
Who is in the first? Who is in the
Where can you
first?
see the fourth?
Penelope. Pascal.
Really? I cannot see the 4th place. But anyhow.
Yeah.
10 seconds ago, I saw that. Maybe Sebi can show us.
But now the question is, are we able to bring double brackets to the video?
Yeah, because first I want to ask which is the meaning of choosing this nickname, or it was just to be, fast.
I think she is Kezia.
I have the same feeling.
Asia is trying to, to blind herself.
No, I mean, it cannot be. I mean, whoever you are, you cannot win every time. I mean, it's not possible. It's not possible.
Okay.
So we have no information about the double brackets. No, it's not Kezia said, but Kahoot kicked her out. You see, Kahoot is a clever machine, understands that Kezia has to go out, otherwise there is no
It has a mind of its own.
This is
Good for the others. That's fair.
Yeah. Very good, guys. Very good.
We have one answer. That we have one question.
Okay.
It's Yazan.
Yazan, is that you? Yazan?
Yazan.
Are you the double brackets person? Yazan?
Yazan.
If you are, many congratulations, because as Maria says in the chat, this was a pretty tough Kahoot.
It was.
Pretty tough. So congratulations to Yazan, if you are the double brackets person. And thank you all for being here tonight again.
Very nice, very nice. So see you next Sunday, my dear friends.
Topic
we still don't know. We have to decide.
We have to decide.
Yeah.
Correct. Wonderful.
I think we're done with nails.
Va bene, ragazzi, un bacione.
Mwah.
Ciao. Take care. Enjoy,
Love you all.
enjoy. Love and peace.
Bye.
Live long and prosper. No, how is it? Like this. Yeah. Live long and prosper.
Peace and love. Peace and love.